Hello everyone, my name is Trevor Bragg here to give you everything you need to know about living in Phoenix, and we have a great video today talking about the different 55 plus communities and which one is best for you. And there's retirement communities, active adult communities, 55 plus communities. They're all the same thing, they're just different names for them. And we have quite a few here in the Phoenix area. It's a popular spot for people to come visit, especially in the winter and the fall months just because of the weather you're getting. Spring also is probably our most popular, mostly due to our spring training. And also we still have amazing weather in the spring. So they're an extremely popular thing, whether people are living in them full-time or part-time. And today I want to break down which ones are my personal favorites. There's over 25 of them here in Phoenix, and I know all of them fairly well. I have this 55 plus community chart that kind of breaks down all the communities, their amenities, their pricing, all that good stuff. If you want that, by the way, it's totally free. Just email me. I'll put my email on the screen so you can have that if you want that. But I break all of them down. I've researched them and I've been to all of them, and I try to figure out which one I would want to personally live in or recommend people to live in. I've had many clients move into them, and so I wanted to give you today what are the best ones in my personal opinion. These aren't factual. This is my opinion based on my experience, and I'm going to break it down based on price range, because obviously if I just did the absolute best ones, well, the highest price ones, all the ones that are $1 million, they're probably going to be better than the ones that are $300,000 just due to probably the quality you're seeing in there. But I want to break it down into different price ranges. You know, if I was under 500,000, which would be my personal favorite, which would I choose with that type of budget? So let's get into it. We'll start at the lower end. If we were going under 300,000, which is pretty difficult to find here in the Phoenix area for any type of home, but there actually are quite a few options if you are looking in Sun City and Sun City West. And these are kind of almost by default. If you're looking for a home in a 55 plus community, you're probably only looking in these two. There are some communities with manufactured homes in the East Valley and Mesa. There's about 4 or 5 different ones of those that would be under this price range, but in general, I'm preferring a single family home. This is personal preference. You can have your own preference. I'm preferring single family home, or also a popular thing, especially in Sun City, is this more of a duplex or patio home style where you're sharing maybe one wall with a neighbor. You still have a garage, backyard, all that good stuff, but your front yard maintenance and your backyard maintenance is totally covered by the HOA, which is a nice feature. But if I was going to be under 300,000, you're kind of forced to look into those two communities, and they are great communities. The reason they are cheaper though is because they are older homes. So especially Sun City, you can see homes built in the 40s and 50s, which in Phoenix that's just about as old as you'll see unless you're in the historic districts. And then in Sun City West, you'll see about 70s and 80s. So you're not going to get like the modern style. You're probably not going to find many open floor plans, but you can still find a decent house, and you still have an insane amount of amenities. If that's one thing that Sun City and Sun City West do really well, it's how many amenities they have, the amount of clubhouses they have, and just the different clubs they have offered. Anything you're into, car restoration, bunco, all of that stuff they have in their clubs. And Sun City is going to be a little bit more central. It's right against the 101. You're maybe 25 minutes to downtown. Sun City West, you're maybe about 10 minutes further in the West Valley, close to Surprise. So those would definitely be my top 2 recommendations under 300,000. And as we move along to under 400,000, we're getting into a little bit more common of a price range that I'm seeing people want to be buying in here in Phoenix. I have 2 good recommendations, and we are staying in the Sun City family, the original Sun City. There are 4 of them. I have a video actually breaking down the 4 different Sun Cities because it is a little confusing. The original Sun City was kind of the first and maybe the pioneer for the 55 plus communities here in Phoenix, and now there are 4 totals, and these next 2 would be my best recommendation for under 400,000. And my first one is Sun City Grand. So this is going to be on the newer side compared to the last 2 we just mentioned. And at Sun City Grand, you can definitely find a home in the 375, 380 range, a nice single family home. Probably on the smaller end. If you're wanting 2,000 square feet, you're probably going to have to be over 400,000 in Grand. But if you're looking at 1,500 square feet, just you and your wife or just you yourself, that could be a really good option in Grand. The reason Grand makes this list for me is, for one, the landscape of the community is incredible. It looks very nice driving through. You have a nice golf course right when you come in. You got lots of water. Their clubhouse is extremely updated. It's got high-end amenities. They have all the clubs that the other Sun Cities offer as well. And it's got newer homes. You have tile roofs. You have more modern floor plans. You see people kind of upkeep their home really well in this community. A lot of pride of ownership. And it's also still in Central Surprise. You're just down the street from their shopping center, from tons of restaurants. Right across from it is a ginormous park with a lake in it. They got the library there. They've got the racket center with like 40 pickleball courts. They got national tennis and pickleball tournaments that happen literally right across the street on Bell Road from Sun City Grand. So it's still plenty of centrality Valley while still getting a really nice home for $400,000. Now, you're not central to Phoenix, but central to kind of everything you want to do on a daily basis. If you want to go out for a night out for entertainment, yeah, you're going to be 45 minutes away from Scottsdale and downtown Phoenix. But as far as your daily life, everything's within 10 minutes of your house in Sun City Grand. And then my next one is Sun City Festival, which is the newest of the Sun Cities, and it is still building homes, and that's the big benefit and why it's making my list is you can get a brand new home in a really nice community and pick out what you want and easily stay under $400,000 in Sun City Festival. Obviously, they have homes that go up to $700,000 on their new builds, but you can definitely stay under $400,000 even on the resale side of things. Get a home built within the last 5 to 7 years, and your amenities are top tier. Their clubhouses, I mean, they're brand new. They're less than 10 years old, and they are luxurious. You walk in, you have these amazing mountain views. You have a gorgeous pool. It looks like you're in a resort in Mexico. The biggest downside to Sun City Festival, which is actually a pro for some people, is that you are pretty far out. You are definitely on the outskirts. So Sun City Grand is about towards the farthest west of Surprises you can go. There's 1 or 2 communities past it. But then you go about 15 minutes further west, and you're in Buckeye now, and you're going to be in Sun City Festival. So the actual community, the house you're getting is amazing, but you are going to be about a 15-20 minute drive just about anything when it comes to groceries, restaurants, shopping, all that stuff, at least a 15 to 20 minute drive no matter what in Festival. But in terms of the house you're getting and the community you're getting for under $400,000, you can't beat that anywhere in the Phoenix area, so it had to make my list for under $400,000. Now, bumping it up to what I am seeing is the most popular thing that people are reaching out to me for is under this $500,000 range. This is a really common price range for people to be looking for, whether they're full-time or part-time. That's still a great price range for people under $500,000. And if I was to pick 2 communities, my first one would be PebbleCreek. So obviously, as you're starting to gain a theme here, a lot of these are in the West Valley. In my opinion, the East Valley, you're finding a lot more of those maybe mobile home communities, a little bit more outdated. I tend to see a lot more people pushing for these West Valley communities, and PebbleCreek is a popular one. It's located fairly central as well, which is a big pro to this one. It's the closest to the airport of any 55 plus communities. You're right on the corner of the 303 and the 10. So as long as you're not going during rush hour, it's maybe a 20-25 minutes drive down to the airport or Phoenix. So if you're kind of maybe doing this just for the winter months and don't want to deal with a 45-minute to an hour drive to the airport, this could be a really good option for you. They do still have new builds going on in PebbleCreek, but they're very limited. There's only one corner section of them. But overall, the community is landscaped very well. It's a more modern, a newer community, mostly built about the mid-90s to about 2015 is kind of when most of the homes were built, with a few more kind of opening up in this last section. But the clubhouse is honestly my personal favorite when it comes to the landscape of the clubhouse. It kind of has this Spanish style design to it. They've got really high-end amenities. They've got a gorgeous pool in it. They've got a high-end golf course. They actually have 2 golf courses, and they have 2 separate clubhouses on 2 separate sides of the community. You can access either one. One of them, the Spanish style one, is kind of the larger one where they're going to have more things to do. The thing I love about PebbleCreek is how active it is. I've never been to this community, and the pickleball court's not had a lot of people playing on it. I go through the clubhouse. There's tons of people working out. There's tons of people hanging out at the clubhouse. It has always been a very busy community. So if you want an active lifestyle, want to be able to meet people fairly easy, PebbleCreek is a really good option for that, and you don't have to be on the outskirts, and you can get a very nice home for $450,000 there. The next option is Sun Lake. So this is my first and I think my only recommendation in the East Valley, not because I don't like the East Valley. It just seems like the West Valley has kind of been a little bit more of the champion in terms of best 55 plus communities. But if you want to be in the East Valley, Sun Lakes is a great option for you. And there's actually 4 little sections to Sun Lakes. 2 are a little bit on the older side, the more original side, and then 2 are on the newer side, which are gated, and they all have their own clubhouses inside of them. And the 2 on the newer side is what is fitting under this $500,000 range, just because of the type of home you're getting. It's a well landscaped community. It's got golf courses. Their amenities are fairly nice. I would put PebbleCreek's amenities on a slight tier above them, but Sun Lakes is definitely the best option in my opinion in the East Valley. If you're looking under $500,000, that's probably the community I would be looking for. You've got plenty of options for lakefront properties, golf front properties, close to the clubhouse, all things like that. You have some good options in Sun Lakes. And since this is such a popular price range, I have two runner-ups. First one is Sun City Grand, which we already talked about, but Grand under 500,000. If you're looking for a slightly larger home, over 1,800 square feet, you'd have to be in the over 400,000 price range, and that's still one of my most recommended. Usually, if people are under 500,000, they're looking West Valley. It's almost always PebbleCreek and Grand they have to check out. And then the next one is Cantamia. The reason it didn't actually make my top two is because of its location. It's so far down in South Goodyear, but the community itself, you have amazing mountain views. You got tons of lakes inside of it. They put tons of man-made lakes inside of the community, which are huge and all throughout the community. Another con is that the amenities aren't as plentiful as the others. The others almost have too many amenities for people to enjoy. This one has kind of niched down and only has a select few. It's a smaller community, and that's why they don't have tons and tons of amenities. So if you aren't looking for as much of the amenities and want more of the great views and great landscape, perfect for going on walks, and still want a great 55 plus community, Cantamia is a good option. It's also on the newer side with new builds still available, so you can get tons of modern floor plans there as well. But just in terms of amenities and location, I definitely think PebbleCreek and Grand are going to beat it out in general in the West Valley. Now, if we're bumping it up a big notch under 750,000, so we're getting into the more luxurious communities, my top two are going to be Trilogy at Vistancia and Victory at Verrado. Trilogy at Vistancia is my personal favorite 55 plus community. When you drive through it, it is so lush. It is natural green grass all along. You've got a golf course on your right when you drive through with a stream going through it. You have tree-lined streets. You got tons of palm trees. It's very green. It does not feel like you are in Phoenix, which is what we're all kind of desiring for people that are living here full-time. We don't want to see desert year-round. We love seeing natural grass, and Trilogy at Vistancia does an amazing job at upkeeping it, and it is green just about year-round. I was there a week ago, and we're in the middle of June. It's over 100 degrees out, and they've got green grass all around the community. It's got luxury amenities. It's got a high-end golf course connected to it. You've got mountain views at the different clubhouses they have there. So a very nice community, a very well-known community as well. Kind of everyone in Phoenix, for the most part, knows where Trilogy at Vistancia is, which is another value add, that it has some name value to it. Now, my second option is Victory at Verrado, which is, I guess, similar in quality to everything I said about Vistancia, except a very different landscape. It's very much the desert landscape and more of an upscale desert landscape. But the big pro about Victory is the mountain views throughout the community. You are right up against the White Take Mountains, and many of the homes have views of those mountains, whether it be in your front yard or backyard. And when you're driving through the community, you can't miss them. The clubhouse is actually perched up on this hill. You're overlooking their golf course, mountain views, in the entire city. You can actually see downtown Phoenix while you're up there as well. So it's a gorgeous community, and it is a brand new community. Most of the homes in there are going to be less than 5 years old. They still have tons of new builds available in varying price range. They tend to be on the higher end because this is more of an upscale community. You are far out in Buckeye, maybe about 40 minutes from downtown. You're just off the 10, but the community itself is very upscale. You have shopping and groceries and restaurants within 10 minutes of your house. So it's an extremely nice community. You're going to get really nice floor plans, and like I said, the mountain views, the high-end community clubhouse, and the golf course really make this feel like a very upscale community. Definitely should be something you're checking out if you're under 750. And lastly, if you had no budget, if you're over 750, where would I be looking? And well, really there's two communities, and the first one, since we just talked about it, Victory at Verrado is going to have to be in there for me just because of the type of home you can get in. If you're at around $1 million, you can get a large new home on the golf course with amazing mountain views, 2,000 square feet plus, and get it for around $1 million in Victory. I mean, it's pretty impressive the type of home you could be getting there, especially if you're wanting some sort of view. That would definitely where I'd be looking if I was over 750. And the next one is a brand new community called Sterling Grove. This is by far the highest end community in Surprise. It's built by Toll Brothers. They have tons of floor plans, a lot of custom ability to change out the homes and what you want to do with the floor plan, the type of upgrades you want to do. But it is an upscale, guard-gated community, more of a golf course feel to it. The amenities are high-end. The only downside would be is that it isn't technically all a 55-plus community. Actually, a majority of it is all age, and they have a section of it that is 55-plus, and it's not necessarily gated off or anything like that. It's within the community. The plus is, you don't have any kids, that is your neighbor making a ton of noise or anything like that right next to you in your neighborhood. It's only going to be 55-plus, and you do share the amenities with everyone in the community. But in general, this is a higher price community. I would say you're not seeing many toddlers running around the community just due to the upscaleness of the community, and that's why I definitely have to recommend it. I mean, in terms of luxury, high-end community, Sterling Grove is by far the best when it comes to 55 plus community, and it's pretty easy to tell. Right when you drive through, you could tell this is a pretty high-end community I'm driving through. So there you go. I know I gave a lot of recommendations, but I tried to narrow it down to 2 best ones in every price range that I'd be checking out if I was in that certain price range. Like I said, I have that totally free 55 plus community chart. If you want that, just email me. I also have this tool if you're trying to figure out which community is best for you. I have this tool on my website where you can type in what you're looking for in a community, what location, what price range, what amenities you really want, and you can click find me the best community, and it's going to spit you out your top 3 options. It's based on an algorithm based off what you input in there, and it's going to tell you which one is best for you. So it's a really helpful tool, totally free. I will put a link to it right here, and then I'm also going to put it down in the description so you can see it. I'll probably leave a comment as well if you want to go to that link and just test it out, totally free. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Which community do you think is best for you?